Imagine a world filled with cute creatures you could capture in a ball and train to fight against one another. It actually sounds quite cruel. This is the world of Pokemon, and all of these lovable creatures are indexed in a database known as the Pokedex. However, not all Pokemon are too happy to be captured, and there are a few who also aren't quite so cute and friendly, perhaps even posing a danger to their trainers. Some also have sinister lore and backstories detailed within the Pokedex. So in this video we take a look at the creepiest Pokedex entries found within the Pokemon games, as we explore the darker side of these bizarre creations. It happened one morning. A boy with extrasensory powers awoke in bed, transformed into KADABRA. Think about this for a moment. If you're a child living in the Pokemon world and have ESP, there is a chance you may be transformed into a Pokemon while sleeping. But worse still, you may be captured by other children, perhaps even your friends, then made to live in a Pokeball and fight against other Pokemon for the rest of your days. Glalie has the ability to freely control ice. For example, it can instantly freeze its foe solid. After immobilizing its foe in ice, this Pokemon enjoys eating it in a leisurely fashion. This doesn't need much explaining, it's horrifying. Imagine being frozen in place, unable to move, your body temperature dropping as this angry looking creature slowly devours you alive. If anyone dares to grab its hilt, it wraps blue cloth around that person's arm and drains that person's life energy completely. So, this is a Pokemon that lures people in with its vibrant and stylish appearance and then kills them if they dare touch it. Imagine the scenario: a kid is wandering through the woods. They stumble across Honage and inquisitively try to grab it. Then they die. Wow. A doll that became a Pokemon over its grudge from being junked. It seeks the child that disowned it. Dolls are creepy on their own, but a weird looking Pokemon possessed by the spirit of an angry doll now seeking the child that disowned it, well, that's just terrifying, especially as we have no idea what Banette intends to do to its owner if they should ever have the misfortune of meeting again. Haunter is a dangerous Pokemon. If one beckons you while floating in darkness, you must never approach it. This Pokemon will try to lick you with its tongue and steal your life away. Haunter doesn't beat around the bush, it's basically the equivalent of a deadly animal like a lion or rhino. Approaching it is probably going to end badly, so don't. It's also one of the few Pokemon that actually looks really creepy too, so there's really no excuse not to avoid it. It wears the skull of its dead mother on its head. When it becomes lonesome, it is said to cry loudly. A classic example of taking a keepsake too far. This Pokemon mourns the loss of its mother so deeply, it literally wears her skull 24/7. Living a lonely life with a sad past it is unable to let go of. Somebody get this Pokemon a psychiatrist. Dusclops' body is completely hollow. There is nothing at all inside. It is said that its body is like a black hole. This Pokemon will absorb anything into its body, but nothing will ever come back out. Black holes are super scary. We have no idea where they lead, only that whatever enters them never returns. Luckily they exist in space, so we don't really have to worry about them. Well, until the creation of Dusclops, that is. A walking black hole that inhabits Pokemon world. When its life comes to an end, it absorbs the life energy of every living thing and turns into a cocoon once more. The Pokemon equivalent of a kamikaze pilot, Veltal has one parting gift for anyone in close proximity before transforming into a cocoon to begin the cycle over again. That parting gift is to sap them of their life force. You have to question why any Pokemon trainer would ever wish to try and capture such a dangerous and volatile being. Buried beneath the castle are masses of dried up bones from those whose vitality it has drained. Not only is the idea of a living sandcastle pretty creepy, but this one also has the power to drain a person's life from them and then use their souls to create more versions of itself, known as Sandyghasts. It can also psychically enslave people to carry out its bidding, but most horrifying of all is surely the idea that, as referenced in the Pokedex, below each palisand is a corpse graveyard, full of the bodies of its victims. Its actual appearance is unknown. A scholar who saw what was under its rag was overwhelmed by terror and died from shock. Mimikyu is a rare case where you actually don't wish to see what the Pokemon looks like. The idea it is so scary that simply looking at it is enough to kill you is pretty disturbing, and carrying something around so horrifying in a Pokeball seems pretty stupid. Still, at least its costume is kinda cute. This Pokemon has the habit of hugging its companions. Many trainers have left this world after their spines were squashed by its hug. Hugs are supposed to be comforting, a way to show love and affection. Beware has a fitting name. You wouldn't want to get trapped in its arms, as he may end up breaking your back. The idea of a creature only wishing to show love, but ultimately dealing in death, is both sad and creepy. If a traveller is going through a desert in the thick of night, Cacturne will follow in a ragtag group. The Pokemon are biding their time, waiting for the traveller to tire and become incapable of moving. Travelling alone in the wilderness would be scary and perilous enough already, without being followed by a bunch of these terrifying looking creatures. The creepiest part of this Pokedex description is that we never learn Cacturne's true intentions toward the traveller, simply that they are waiting for them to become too tired to move. If this isn't motivation to rest at night, I don't know what is. Each of them carries a mask that used to be its face when it was human. Sometimes I look at it and cry. This has to be one of the saddest and most unsettling Pokedex entries on this list. Imagine, if you will, living a life in a body you despise, while gazing upon your old face, which you carry with you everywhere. It would be utterly traumatizing and constantly depressing. What a way to live. Singing in eerie voices, they wander town streets on the night of the new moon. Anyone who hears their song is cursed. The idea of hearing sound that could curse you is pretty scary. Sound travels faster than almost anything aside from light itself. It's almost inescapable. So this creepy Pokemon turning up in your hometown under the cover of darkness and singing through the streets is not a comforting thought. It remembers every dream it eats. It rarely eats the dreams of adults, because children's are much tastier. Here's the scene. A child asleep, dreaming of becoming a Pokemon master. Then this creepy aardvark looking thing climbs through their window, steals away their happy thoughts, and leaves them only with nightmares for the rest of their lives. Although Gorebyss is the very picture of elegance and beauty while swimming, it is also cruel. When it spots prey, this Pokemon inserts its thin mouth into the prey's body and drains the prey of its body fluids. This beautiful looking Pokemon can drain you of your blood. And Nintendo say these are kids games? I think that this has to be one of the most horrifying ways to go, especially while swimming. Indeed, if you've ever had a fear of water, then this deceptive looking Pokemon isn't going to help with that. In fact, if you value your health and sanity, it may be better to avoid swimming in Pokemon World altogether. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, remember to give this video a like, leave me a little comment down below, and of course subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I will see you guys on the next one.